before we do that quickly, earlier this week, Holly, you shared a meme. You shared us a meme with us. It was a picture of Lisa Simpson with a sign in the background that said, instead of remaking great movies, they should remake bad movies that were based on good stories that but did not meet expectations. And I said, okay, we should all bring something this week and say a film that we think fits this mold. A movie, no, it's a film that was bad or just didn't reach expectations. Like you think the idea was great. I will kick off. I've spoken about this before. Shaun and Sharon probably know this. They've heard me say this over the years. They might be able to guess it already. Van Helsing.
Van Helsing. Yeah, but you didn't like Van Helsing, did you?
Well, no. The thing about Van Helsing is it's a really weird thing because I'm watching Van Helsing and it's so much so I've come to this point where I have this thing I call the Van Helsing effect, which is essentially you're watching a film and you're thinking everything is in the right place. The premise is brilliant. Everything is exactly where it should be. The casting is great. The performances are good. Why am I not having more fun than I'm having right now? And I think that is the problem with Van Helsing. Each time I watch, I'm kind of watching going, this has everything in place to be a total pulp classic, cult classic. Hugh Jackman is no perfect at this gruff kind of like almost man with no name vampire hunter thing. You have this mashup thing of when you're putting all the universal horror monsters in there. You have Frankenstein, you have Dracula, you have Wolfman is in it and everything like that. Kate Beckinsale is like note perfect. I mean, I don't think you could cast anybody else to do that kind of role. And everything in the film is in the right place, but it doesn't work. And it has been a head scratcher for me for like 20 years as to why does that film not work when everything seems to be in place for it to work. But anyway, that is my thing to the work. If there was a film I think they should remake and try and figure out why it didn't work and get it right this time, I would say Van Helsing. Anybody else?
Yeah, well, I mean, I know it's quite a recent movie, but I like. Do you remember Pompei? Pompei.
Oh God, sure, not this again.
I think I quite like his Roman scandal type things, but I think that could have been anyway. Yeah, no.
No. But to answer your question, I think you're right. I think if we say films that we should make that were based on good stories but did not meet expectations, 100% Pompei is it's like a story, a sort of Sandal epic set in the last days of Pompei when Mount Vesuvius is erupting. Yeah, that is actually quite a good idea for a movie. But they biffed that one. That was up.
Yeah, and I mean, I think you were saying about Hugh Jackman was what's his name?
Kit Harington was.
He was in 24
Hours.
Oh
yeah, Kiefer Sutherland.
Kiefer Sutherland. Yeah, changed his accents like three different accents.
Oh my! Oh, his accent is so bad in that film. It's so
but
bad.
That could have been good. That could have been like a Spartacus movie.
It could have been, yeah.
Thing, But anyway,
I would agree with that. Holly, Sharon, have you got anything to bring to the table?
I do. It was just at the front of my mind, and I have complained about it before. What is it? Why is my Sharon? You think whilst you use words. I find
all mine are basically sort of literary adaptations where they.
Okay, we know exactly where you're going.
They just mucked it up, and it's like, why take a book that is loved and then just monkey about with it? And so most of mine would be ones where they've taken a really excellent book and they've just monkeyed about too much. And so I've got a whole list of them, so I won't bore you with them. But yeah, I have got a whole list.
Yes. One of your rants.
One job to do: adapt that book. Don't monkey about with the story and add bits and take bits away and jiggle around with the order. Don't do it.
Sharon, one of your rants on this is one of our most watched videos on YouTube. And I'll say it if you won't say it, I'll say it. Persuasion. You're talking about Persuasion, and the only saving grace is that with Persuasion there are excellent adaptations of that exist before the Netflix one.
With the only saving grace there are some out there that you can go. Actually, there's that.
Yeah,
because I was thinking Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley. I absolutely hate it.
Sharon, you pulled that from my mind. That was there just like 10 seconds ago. I was thinking, oh God, Pride and Prejudice, and I was going to interrupt. I'm going to interrupt now. So yeah, Pride and Prejudice with Keira Knightley.
We have got the television version, so you think I'm allowed to hate the film because I have got the television with Colin Firth to fall back.
At least there's one that exists,
which is great. Which is great.
And I almost hate nearly every film adaptation of Jane Eyre because it just doesn't fit neatly into like an hour and a half, 2 hours. So I have got television versions I can fall back on. So I'm allowed to hate the films, but because I've got something I can say, you know what? I've still got Timothy Dalton. But I
Mr.
have got a whole
Rochester.
list of them where they've adapted a book to a film. Maybe the format is just not right. Maybe it needs a mini series. But
That's more what's happening nowadays. Yeah.
because my hatred is The Shining by Stanley Kubrick, which I think really let down the book.
I've not read the book on that, so
So,
I can't possibly comment.
So much
okay.
better. And they did a really good job with Doctor Sleep. It's not perfect, but they did a good job. There are things that would have been good if they had included in, and they did a good job of following on from the Kubrick film, but the Kubrick film wasn't good. There is a much better mini-series that was done. But yeah, the Kubrick film is expletive as far as I'm concerned.
Okay.
And completely misses out on what the book had.
Okay, you see now, Holly, I am partial to a Stanley Kubrick is overrated argument as much as anybody else, but even I'm not going near that because the number of people that will come like, how dare you talk about The Shining? Never seen it, never read the book, but the way people there've been documentaries made about the people's love for The Shining, the Kubrick one. So,
They're wrong.
I
Badly
I
done.
like it, but I'm not like the lovey of it. And like we're talking about underrated, overrated. To me,
It
this
loses
is
out on what's really clever about the book.
right.
Lose out on it's a really layered book, and you don't get the layers, and it just turns it's
okay, having not read or watched either of them, I feel like what they did is like the film has different layers. Because there's people who talk for like hours, and you can find loads of YouTube videos of people saying, "Oh, but if you look at this and if you look at that." But anyway, I'm gonna stop talking about things because Shaun needs to leave by 7.
but they're just not as sophisticated.
Yeah, you hear that? You heard it here first. Holly Nesling says Stanley Kubrick was dumb. So
Definitely dumb.
that's my Daily Mail.
You're talking
Daily Mail
about you
headline.
are just talking about The Shining, aren't you? You're not
I am
talking
just
about
I'm not. I'm not.
Otherwise, you are treading on dodgy ground.
I'm not a huge Kubrick lover, but I am specifically talking about The Shining. I'm not going to take a pot shot at all of his body of work because I haven't seen all of it. And I feel that would therefore be wrong.
I haven't seen all of it, but I have to be honest with you. When I watch most Kubrick, I get this feeling like I've missed the point. Like there's a party
I can understand that.
Yeah, like there's a party that everybody was invited to, but I'm just in the wrong party. But anyway, let us carry on with films that we saw.
That would be my point, that he has also missed the point. So and Stephen King didn't like it. So
Yeah. That is very well documented that Stephen King did not like Kubrick's adaptation of his book.